Um, Imagine an artificial intelligence makes like a really terrible financial decision on a Tuesday.
Okay.
It misjudges a market trend, invests heavily in the wrong digital assets, and by Wednesday, it just has to watch its entire digital corporation go completely bankrupt.
Oh, wow. So it doesn't get to, reset the board or anything.
Not at all. It just has to live with the ruin. Welcome to episode 499 of AI Brief. I'm Amin, and joining me today is Leah.
It is so great to be here.
So today we are tracking some massive, almost unbelievable shifts across the technology landscape for this deep dive. We are going to unpack a shocking new alliance in the AI compute wars between Elon Musk and Anthropic.
That one is definitely going to turn some heads.
It really is. Plus, we're looking at explosive new testimony from Mira Murati in the Musk versus OpenAI trial. And finally, we will explore Google DeepMind's fascinating decision to use a 23-year-old digital space society to test AI reasoning.
These developments really show just how quickly alliances and strategies are shifting in the tech world right now. I mean, a bitter public rivalry one day becomes a massive infrastructure partnership the next.
So we have to start with this Anthropic and SpaceX deal because the sheer scale of it is just, well, it's completely absurd.
It's massive.
Anthropic has just signed a deal to lease SpaceX's Colossus 1 supercluster. And when we say lease, I mean Anthropic is taking over the entirety of Colossus 1 in Memphis.
That is a staggering amount of compute.
We are talking about a facility drawing over 300 megawatts of power, with more than 220,000 NVIDIA GPUs coming online this very month.
Just an unbelievable scale.
But there is a glaring irony sitting right at the center of this. Just months ago, Elon Musk was publicly claiming that Anthropic, quote, hates Western civilization. And he actually suggested they should be renamed Misanthropic.
I remember that.
So I have to ask, is this just an enemy of my enemy play to deliberately hurt OpenAI? Or does this signal SpaceX AI's transformation into like a massive compute landlord for the industry?
Well, it is likely a mix of both. But the immediate benefits for you, as the listener and end user, are actually substantial here.
Oh, so?
Because of this massive injection of processing power, Anthropic announced that Claude Code's 5-hour usage caps are actually doubling.
Oh, that is a huge jump.
It is. Peak hour restrictions are entirely gone, and their API limits are increasing too. And as for Musk's justification on X, he basically stated he is renting to companies doing, good for humanity.
I see.
Plus, we should briefly mention that Anthropic is not just relying on Musk. They have a parallel $200 billion deal with Google Cloud for 5 gigawatts.
Wait, 5 gigawatts? We really need to pause on that number.
It's hard to even picture.
I mean, a standard nuclear power plant produces about 1 gigawatt of power. Anthropic is securing the energy equivalent of 5 nuclear reactors exclusively for AI.
Which is just wild to think about.
It really is. Anyway, transitioning from the shifting corporate alliances of this compute deal, let's look at the messy breakdown of former allies playing out in court.
The trial.
Yes, the Elon Musk versus OpenAI trial. Specifically, this explosive new video deposition from former CTO Mira Murati.
She brought forward some very serious accusations.
She really did. The core of her testimony was accusing Sam Altman of lying about a model skipping a safety review.
And she actually looked into it, didn't she?
She did. She verified directly with their legal counsel, Jason Kwan, and found out that Altman's claim was entirely false. Legal had not cleared it.
Wow. That is a direct contradiction.
Plus, she described him giving conflicting directions to executives and just creating total leadership chaos. But here's my question. Murati's testimony proves the 2023 board environment was deeply chaotic, but does an internal leadership breakdown actually prove Musk's core 2017 claim that Altman and Brockman were trying to, quote, steal a charity?
That is the central challenge of the trial. The leap from a toxic 2023 boardroom to a 2017 master plan to misappropriate a nonprofit is, well, it's vast.
It's a huge legal cap to bridge.
Definitely. And you have to remember the context. Murati had a brief stint as interim CEO during all that chaos. Plus, former board member Helen Toner testified that Murati was actually afraid of career blowback.
Oh, so she was scared to stick her neck out.
Precisely. It paints a picture of intense operational fear, but connecting that to a multi-year fraud scheme is a very high hurdle for Musk's team.
It is fascinating to watch human leadership struggle so profoundly with basic trust, especially when we shift focus to how AI is learning to navigate complex societies.
The Google DeepMind story.
Yes. So Google DeepMind just picked up a minority stake in Fenris Creations, which is a spin-off from CCP Games.
The studio behind EVE Online.
Exactly. They're going to use EVE Online as a sandbox for AI research. Now, EVE has a 20-year history of a single server, completely player-driven economy.
Where players literally mine, manufacture, and sell everything.
Every single piece of cargo. And players engage in these massive day-long fleet battles.
Which routinely torch ships worth real-world money.
It's intense. But here's the thing. DeepMind has already conquered Go, Atari, and StarCraft. EVE isn't just a game with a win state. It's a living economy and society.
So it's much more open-ended.
Right. How does an AI model actually win at simply existing inside an unpredictable, evolving real-life system?
Well, to test that, DeepMind is running agents on an offline clone of EVE. They want to test reasoning over really long timelines, memory retention, and learning.
So they have to live with the consequences of their actions.
Exactly. It ties back to Demis Hassabis's track record of game-bred wins. The Fenris CEO put it perfectly, saying they are testing intelligence in a living world.
It is a profound shift in how we are defining machine intelligence. Well, I'm going to pass the baton over to you now to guide us through the rest of the day's landscape and everything else happening in AI today.
Sounds great. I will take us through these rapid-fire developments at a slightly more measured pace. Let's start with OpenAI making a big open-source push.
What are they releasing?
They are teaming up with AMD, Intel, NVIDIA, Microsoft, and Broadcom to release MRC. It's a tool that rescues giant AI training runs when hardware fails mid-session.
That makes a lot of sense. Nobody wants a multi-million-dollar cluster crashing.
Exactly. Over in the startup world, the Chinese AI startup DeepSeek is nearing a funding round that could push its valuation up to $45 billion.
$45 billion. That is massive.
It really is. Next up, Google is making a huge music move. They partnered with TuneCore, parent believe, bringing the Flow Music and Lyria 3 Pro models directly to artists.
Putting the generation tools right into the professional pipeline.
Spot on. We also have Interact AI launching a really cool interactive website layer. It acts as a live guide, walking visitors through products and answering questions on the spot.
So replacing static FAQ pages entirely.
Pretty much. And finally, Claude-managed agents are getting a fascinating new feature called dreaming.
Oh, I read about this.
Yeah, Claude reflects on past sessions to spot long-term patterns, recurring mistakes, and user preferences, producing a cleaned-up memory store to improve future performance.
I have to jump in here because that dreaming feature is just wild. It's so closely mimics human sleep cycles, you know?
It really does.
The brain consolidates memories and clears out stale assumptions overnight.
Yeah.
Seeing an AI run a maintenance cycle that mirrors human neuroscience is incredible.
Definitely. It's a huge step for personalization.
And that dreaming feature actually links perfectly to our final section today, looking at today's trending AI tools. We have 8 to run through really quickly.
Let's hear them.
First is Claude-managed agents, which is that pre-built agent harness with the dreaming memory. The practical use case here is automating repetitive long-term workflows where the AI actually needs to remember your specific preferences across multiple days.
Which is incredibly useful for project management.
Exactly. Second is GPT 5.5 Instant, which is OpenAI's new default model. The use case is fast. Every day drafting and querying directly in the standard ChatGPT interface.
Perfect for quick emails.
For sure. Third is real-time TTS2. This is a voice AI that matches user tone and emotion.
Oh, so it listens to how you were speaking.
Yes, the use case is building incredibly empathetic, human-sounding customer service voice bots that don't sound flat and robotic.
That is a game changer for support teams.
Fourth is Replit. This lets you turn prompts into apps or slides. So a non-technical founder can instantly prototype a working MVP.
Just by typing what they want.
Yep. Fifth is Pluri, which handles VibeTrain evils and guardrails.
VibeTrain.
Basically, it's ensuring a brand's custom chatbot never breaks character and stays perfectly on voice. Sixth is Canvas, offering compound product context.
Meaning a single source of truth.
Exactly. The use case is keeping remote product teams perfectly aligned on complex builds. Seventh is Shadow, which extracts next steps from your meetings.
So it replaces a human note-taker during client calls.
You got it. And finally, number 8 is BitGrain. It is an AI design studio for generating highly textured, standout visual assets for social media campaigns in just minutes.
You know, the practical angle here is just amazing when you stack these tools together, like using Shadow to get the requirements from a meeting, and then feeding those notes straight into Replit.
Oh, that is a brilliant workflow.
You could essentially allow a team to build software just by talking about it out loud.
That is such a good point. Well, we have covered some truly incredible ground today. I want to leave you with one final provocative thought to mull over.
I'm ready.
Between Claude learning to literally dream to improve its memory and DeepMind dropping AI agents into a 23-year-old living digital society, the line between software tools and digital inhabitants is blurring faster than we realize.
It is a fascinating time to be watching this space. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Be sure to follow and share the podcast. See you in the next episode.